Hello, my dear students, my dear well wishers, and those who follow my English channel and easy step to English grammar. I am a native speaker, and my tonight's arrangement is noun clause, object to the verb. So, first of all, we shall have to know how to detect or identify an object in a sentence. This is our first and foremost criteria of learning noun clause. How will you identify an object in a sentence? Ask the finite verb or the principal verb by what or whom, and the answer is object. For example, Rina plucked the flowers early in the morning. So Rina is subject, plucked is verb, and what did she pluck? What did she pluck? The flowers. So it is the direct object. It is the direct object because flowers is inanimate object. It is the direct object, the flowers. I am asking the verb plucked by what? And the answer is flowers. Number 2, she gave me a piece of good advice. She gave me a piece of good advice. So gave is the principal verb or the finite verb, and ask the verb by what? What did she give? A piece of good advice. So it is a noun phrase. It is a noun phrase. And whom did she give the advice? Me. So if you ask the finite verb or the principal verb of a sentence by what or whom, the objects will come out. You will be able to identify the objects. And who can be the objects? Either a noun or a pronoun or a noun phrase. Clear? Now come to the third sentence. I told him to read the novel. So told is the principal verb or the finite verb. Whom did I tell? This is the indirect object, him. That is the human being. Clear? So, him is the indirect object. And ask the infinitive to read. What did or what should be read? The novel. Here, the novel is acting as the object of the infinitive to read. Okay? Now come to the fourth sentence. He has ordered a fish fry for me. Suppose you have gone to a restaurant and your friend has ordered a fish fry. He has ordered a fish fry for me. What has he ordered? Ordered is the principal verb or the finite verb. What has he ordered? A fish fry. Clear? So, a fish fry is a noun phrase and it is acting as the object to ordered. So let us come to the conclusion that an object can be identified by asking the principal verb by what or whom, and an object can be either a noun or a noun phrase or a pronoun. Okay? Don't skip the word. And in the midway, I remind you to subscribe my channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel because I will come before you with tidbits of English grammar. Clear? Now let us clean the board, and now I come to noun clause object to the verb. So, the first and foremost criteria is that a clause that acts as the object to the verb is called a noun clause. Clear? For example, number 2. Number 1. Sir Jesse Bose discovered that a plant has also life. It is scientific truth, so I have used has. And the reporting verb is discovered. And now let us analyze the sentence first. Number 1, please write down. Don't hesitate to take your exercise book and khata. Please write it down. Sir Jesse Bose discovered principal clause. Okay? It is the main clause on which the subordinate clause or the dependent clause depends. Now, number 2, that a plant has also life. Subordinate, noun clause, and object to the verb. Object to the verb discovered. In clause number 1. Now let us understand the matter. Sir Jesse Bose, you know that one clause means there must be a finite verb in it. One finite verb is equal to one clause. Am I clear? Now, Sir Jesse Bose discovered. Discovered is the finite verb and it is the principal clause. And ask discovered what? By what? What did he discover? That a plant has also life. So, this subordinate clause is acting as the object to the verb discovered. Clear? Try to understand the matter. Now let us come to the second sentence. Second sentence. The missing letter was hidden in the old letters hanging openly. The missing letter was hidden in the old letters hanging openly. The detective suspected it. Okay? The detective suspected it. Now there are two sentences. I have given two sentences. And let us join these two sentences by using noun clause and object to the verb. So, the detective suspected that, answer, the detective suspected principal clause, it is the finite verb of the principal clause suspected, that the missing letter, number 2, that the missing letter was hidden, is hidden in the old letters, hanging openly. Okay? And this is subordinate noun clause. Why is it noun clause? Because it is acting as the object to the verb suspected. What did he suspect? That the missing letter was hidden in the old letters hanging openly. Subordinate noun clause, object to the verb suspected. Okay? In clause number 1. Now let us come to the third example. Okay? Now let us come to the third example. The boy was, number 3, the boy was going to a certain place. The boy was going to a certain place. He did not disclose. The name of the place. Okay? There are two sentences. The boy was going to a certain place. He did not disclose the name of the place. So the boy did not disclose where he was going. The boy didn't disclose where he was going. Answer. The boy did not disclose where he was going. Now let us analyze the sentence. The boy didn't disclose. It is principal clause. And where he was going, it is dependent clause or subordinate noun clause. What did he not disclose? Ask. Disclose. What did he not disclose? And it has given you the answer where he was going. Don't confuse between noun clause and adverb clause, because an adverb clause or place also starts with where. But here ask the object by what? Ask the finite verb or the principal verb of the principal clause by what, and it has naturally given you the answer where he was going. So it is noun clause. Clear? Now let us come to the fourth example. The train would depart. The train would depart from the station. The train would depart from the station. Okay? The time was announced. The time was announced. Okay, the time was announced repeatedly. There are two sentences. The train would depart from the station. It will leave the station. The time was announced again and again. Let us join the sentence into a complex sentence by using noun clause and object to the verb. The time was announced repeatedly, or repeatedly the time was announced when the train would depart from the station. Answer: repeatedly the time was announced. Repeatedly the time was announced when the train would depart. When the train would depart the station. Train would depart from the station. From the station. Okay. Now let us explain the sentence anatomically. Repeatedly the time was announced. What was announced? Ask the finite verb of the principal clause. Announced. What was announced? When the train would depart from the station. This is the noun clause. Don't confuse between noun clause and adverb clause, because an adverb clause of time begins with when. But here it is noun clause because ask announced. What was announced? Or what time was announced? When the train would depart from the station. It is acting as the object to the verb announced. Okay? Now let us come to the fifth example. For there is a single sentence. For example, there is a single sentence. I want to know your name. I want to know your name. I am giving you various types of sentences. I want to know your name. And if you are asked to turn it into a complex sentence by using noun clause and object to the verb, what will you write? Answer. I want to know what your name is. What your name is. And let us analyze the sentence. I want to know principal clause. What did you want to know? It is acting as the object. What your name is. It is subordinate noun clause and object to the verb. No. Clear? I am giving you from different corners different sentences. For example, another example. A noun clause may begin with if. For example, the writer is writing a sentence. For example, I wonder if I can do it. If I can do it. I wonder if I can do it. And if we analyze the sentence, it will appear that I wonder principal clause. That means the writer is in a dilemma whether he will be able to undertake the project, to complete the project or not. So I wonder principal clause, and it is the dependent clause or subordinate noun clause. If I can do it, if I can do it, it is noun clause and object to the verb wonder. What do you wonder? If I can do it. So, let us conclude. A noun clause may begin with what, when, where, that, if, etc. But all the clauses will act as the object to the verb of the principal clause. Object to the verb of the principal clause. Ask the verb of the principal clause by what or whom, and it will give you the answer. Clear? So, there is no confusion in making a complex sentence by using noun clause. And let us complete or let us finish or end our class tonight, and the next night I will teach you complement to the verb. Complement to the verb. And after the completion of the entire noun clause, I will give you some examples as homework. Don't forget, I never break my promise. Good night today. Stay safe, stay mellow, avoid mass gathering. Use your hand sanitizer and mask still. Okay, good night. Obviously, you should not press the bell icon to subscribe my channel.